Welcome to Poggenpohl. It's just before Monday night, Monday afternoon, where we're going to do this fantastic cook-off with Ruth from Darcy's in respect of Grove House. So follow me. Who's been to Lussmanns before? Would anyone like to tell me what Lussmanns is about in a one sentence? Fantastic, yes. Fresh food. Well, we are very much the link between the homogenised chain on the high street, which is rather forgettable, and the very good independent up the road called Darcy's, and we sort of sit in between, bringing the two together. So we are very much a fish and grill restaurant, and we're here hopefully to appreciate the importance of what we do in our restaurant. So without further ado, I will crack on. We're going to make tonight some pollock. And with that pollock, we're going to cook a very slow roast tomato compote, and we're going to finish it off with some fantastic Norfolk shrimps. So the first job for me is, apart from taking the fish out of the fridge, because we don't want the fish to be too cold, is to get our cherry tomatoes. Now, to be honest with you, you can use any tomatoes you like. We're going to put a bit of butter inside to add a bit of value to the taste of the dish, and a little bit of olive oil to help reduce the chance of the dish from burning. So we throw the shallots inside, and all I'm trying to do here with the shallots is to warm them up and cook them slightly so they're nice and translucent, a bit like you would cook a risotto. Yes, we all cook risotto at home, right? I can't hear you. Thank you. Yes, well, I'm not talking to you. So, very, very simple. I mean, the whole thing about what we're doing at Lussmanns is to keep it very simple, very fresh, very easy, very much a kitchen away from your kitchen at home. I'll have a little drink. Now, with the shallots, we're almost there. Very nice range here at Poggenpohl. If I had lots of money and we made a few £1 million at Lussmanns, I would definitely come here and buy this type of cookery. You can do your deal. So, we throw the tomatoes in. Now, the whole idea here is they're nice and translucent. The cherry tomatoes go in, and we're not creating a tomato sauce. I mean, it's far from it. It very simply is a slow, roasted down tomato compote. A little bit of seasoning. And then, once that goes in, you want to turn that right down. And I've got no idea what Fahrenheit and Celsius is, so I would say it's number 4 out of 12. And the beauty of this dish is we're not trying to stir it for 3 hours. It's just we want to keep the tomatoes in their casing, and we want the tomatoes to slowly concentrate their juices and the acidity from the tomatoes to work with the shallots. So with the fish, pollock has become very trendy in the last sort of 12 months in regards to huge fish fight. Pollock is a good sort of sustainable alternative to which fish? Look at that. Oh, well done, yes, it's cod. The pollock we've got here, it's a lovely coastal pollock from our English shores. It's been pin boned, which very simply means when you ask your fishmonger to cut it for you into a size that you would like, you just ask him to pick out the large bones. So when you actually cook it, you don't have to worry about the bones being in the fish. Now, with regards to cooking the fish, we all know which side of the fish to cook on. We've got some right experts here. Everyone knows what they're talking about, except me. Now, so with the fish, you put it down the skin side. We all know why. Very simple for those who don't. It just means that we don't want to. We want to protect the membrane. It's like a membrane. It's like a skin which holds the whole fish together. And you cook it for about 75% of its time through the skin. So we're going to put that down. And of course, the minute you put the fish in there, it shrivels as it starts to dehydrate. And the best thing really is just then to watch it. I mean, you get an idea for how long these things take to cook. But with salmon, with tuna, with things like cod or pollock, you can just see the colour of the fish rising through the flesh, and then you know it's ready to serve. Now, whilst that's cooking nicely, on 8 out of 12, we turn down our tomatoes and we add a little bit of sherry, which will help deglaze the pan, and most importantly give it a lovely sweet taste. And again, I would say something like, what do you reckon? About 20 mils? And whilst that's cooking very nicely, all we need to add to that in the end is some fresh basil to add some freshness to it, and that's really at the last minute. And you'll be happy to know that these are nice and clean and been washed, and all you need to do is chop it up and throw it in there. Don't worry about slicing it, dicing it, and all the rest of it. And you can throw the sauce in as well. We're almost there, so a little bit of seasoning, which we now put back in there, a bit of pepper, We turn up the heat, and then we finally finish off with the piece de resistance, which is some lovely Norfolk shrimps and some shallots. So again, we turn this on. Right, Nick is my chef in St Albans, and they've asked a very important question. The Lupa oil is part olive oil and part what?
Engine.
Thank you. We've convinced them. Right, lovely. We're going to do the shallots. Now, it's not so important that you're going to dice it up very, 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 very small. Nice and nice thin rings. Into the pan, which should be nice and hot. So, we're back to where we were. The shallots are now in here. We throw some capers in the last minute. Some very small, lovely capers. Quite a few actually. And some Norfolk shrimps. We put the shrimps on top. And the last thing we add in is a little bit of fresh parsley. Right, so what looks to be very simple is in actual fact very simple. What we've got here is a fantastic piece of sustainable pollock, which we use at the restaurant. You have no worries about this because there's lots of it. We've got a fantastic warmed down tomato compote that we would cook for a little bit longer with some sherry and some basil, and something that you can put in the last minute to help give it a little more spice would be some paprika. Now, it might be helpful if you put it in slightly earlier, but the last minute really doesn't make any difference. As I said earlier, it's not about crushing the tomatoes, it's about moving the tomatoes around the plate. Right, now, this is the pollock with the compote of fresh tomatoes that have been cooked down with some lovely cherry and some fresh basil and some Norfolk shrimps on top. So what you're going to eat now is the lovely pollock with some skin on top and the compote tomatoes on the bottom, and I hope you enjoy it. Any more questions?